What's up, guys? My name is MrHurriicane, back with more Madden 17 Ultimate Team here today. Here is the matchup for today's game. It looks like my elites aren't as good as my opponent's elites. Now, this game here is unlike any I think I've played so far this year, and you're gonna see me do some really dumb stuff, but stick around, it gets interesting. So we start off, and I'm seeing my opponent's early tendencies here. He has Ben Roethlisberger and some good receivers on the outside. He wants to go for verts and air this out. So I have just my zone defense out there early on, seeing where he wants to go. Is it going to be the tailback? Is it going to be that slot receiver? Well, a little bit of both here early on as we give up the first down. So he has Big Ben with the big arm, A.J. Green on the outside along with Dez Bryant. And here he's throwing it up top to A.J. Green, and that is knocked away. That is Stephon Gilmore. I had to add him because I saw a lot more teams playing like this. But then I bring the blitz, and there's Eric Reed. When I see teams like to throw it deep, I want to bring the pressure so the quarterback doesn't have time for those receivers to get down the field. 3rd and 20, I'll drop 8 into coverage, and the seam is still open. Luckily, a bad throw gives them a 4th down and 20, and my opponent ends up punting. So we've seen what we're up against in this episode as far as my defense. And then, of course, this punt gets dropped here inside the 5, and I have a long field ahead of me. But it's time to bring out David Johnson and get back to running this offense through him. And immediately I saw my opponent was doing something weird here with his defense. He was taking both safeties, keeping them up high, taking an outside linebacker, kind of just sitting back. So I wanted to get to running the football here. I'm backed up in my own end zone. I wanted to give the ball to David Johnson anyway. So he gets us 4 yards. Same look here on 3rd and short, and we'll take that right there. Johnson up the middle, and we get 9 on this carry. Because he kept going to this look, I kept calling the same stuff. I wanted to get David Johnson up the middle, and it didn't always work. I was disappointed to only have 23 yards on my first 5 carries. So then we go back to the air, and on the outside, welcome to the team, Jeremy Maclin. He replaces Amari Cooper. He has better hands, and is a nice compliment to Mike Evans. Then we go to a split backfield, the next 3rd down, needing 8. We'll swing this out, and David Johnson slips a tackle. And that's another reason why I had to get David Johnson, and why I've liked power runners on Madden for a very long time, especially being a Vikings fan and having Adrian Peterson for so many years. Mike Evans on the outside reaching up for that one. And I don't usually have receivers where I just say, hey, go make a play. So it's fun to be able to do that every now and then. Up the middle again. He's not putting safeties in the box. It's a really weird defense. I'm over 5 yards a carry now. And my red zone passing has been an issue for me. This is incomplete for Kamar Aiken. The coverage is there by Joe Hayden. 3rd down, we're going to try this again now. I have Mike Evans instead. And that is knocked away by Hayden. So my red zone offense continues to be very disappointing. But we do get on the board first. Take a lot of time off the clock. And we'll see how my defense fares this time. Well, he has extra protection. Throwing it deep to A.J. Green. And there is Gilmore step for step as the ball is overthrown. We're in a good spot here early on. This is man coverage, so we have Delvin Breaux right there to break up the screen. 3rd down and 13. I'm playing man coverage now because I saw the 4 verts he was running, and I liked my players in man coverage. But when Dez Bryant gets behind you, it's a problem. He beats Orlando Scandrick, who I figured could keep up with him here, and he has very good man coverage. But Dez Bryant separates. It becomes 6-3. And as you guys have probably seen for the first bit this game has been out, a lot of extra point issues here online, so the game remains 6-3. 1 minute and 11 seconds to go in the first half, and I have Cordero Patterson back here, along with David Johnson, and a wide open lane through the middle. 2 defenders simultaneously miss, and David Johnson, my favorite player now on this team, takes it all the way for a touchdown, and I'm not going for the extra point. I wanted to try something new on offense and practice it right here, and maybe it's not a good idea. I had trips over there, and it was still perfectly covered. They took away what I wanted there. Both my options, too, Mike Evans and the flats. But I have the lead at least 9-6. He's going deep again, and A.J. Green comes down with it. That's why I try to get pressure a lot of times. I just don't trust my players deep against these high-rated receivers. I don't have the best team or the best players, so it's going to be a weakness of mine. 1st and goal, we cover up the screen, and there is a loss of 4. I was actually kind of bummed about the loss because it gave him more room to stretch the field. and we blew our coverage right down the middle for a touchdown. That's what I was worried about. Thomas Davis was supposed to cover the deep middle, and instead the tight end got his attention right away and he stuck with him, leaving a void in the defense. This time around he hits the extra point, so it's 13-9. And I only had 1 second left here. He's playing press coverage, so I just try to run it, and David Johnson spins away from 2, but he can't get past the last man there, so we go to the second half trailing by 4. And the plan is basically still to run the football with David Johnson, and I'm horrible at these tackle battles, finally win one there. And then I call this play, it's one I called in the last episode to get David Johnson the football, and I throw a pick underneath. And that's a pick 6. I was hoping the ball would go to the outside enough to avoid that, but the bullet pass went right to the defender, so we fall behind 19-9. And now the extra point adventures continue, and this kick is no good, so still a 10-point game. I come back out my next possession here in the double stack look. I want to see what defensive looks he'll give me with this offense. I thought I could open up some running lanes and have some opportunities on the outside in the pass game. On 2nd down and 3, rolling out here with Romo, and I throw another pick! This same player! Jeremy Maclin trying to catch up to him, and he can't punch it out. I've thrown that pick twice in this game basically now where the corner is so shallow and I just throw it right to him. And I did that last episode as well. The extra point is no good, but I'm down 25-9, can't pass the football, and this is not looking good for me at this point. So we go back to the running game here. David Johnson has been working for me, although I would have liked some bigger runs. Still in the double stack, by the way. We're throwing it here again. Rolling outside, he's trying to do it again, and I get this to Mike Evans for only a gain of 3. He was in good spots with his users. He was very good at that. I like to throw over the middle, and he was taking away a lot of those options. Here it is again, so I go outside, and Mike Evans only gets 6 yards. This is too much work to only get this little yardage. So back to the running game. Inside the safety, David Johnson turns on the Jets, and he's going 61 to the house. I have that going for me at least. We can run inside zone against these favorable looks. But can we throw the ball and make it a one-score game? No one's open. Romo lobbing and incomplete. Now it's a 10-point game again. I knew if I was going to have a chance here, I needed to be aggressive on defense. However, this blitz didn't get home, and Big Ben going deep has it knocked away this time by Stephon Gilmore. Once again, I come out and engage 8. I have 2 of those blitzers actually in a zone, so I send 6. And on 2nd down, the rush is picked up again. Big Ben to A.J. Green, and that is also incomplete. Some nice plays out there by Gilmore. I switch up my look now, go man-to-man. He wants to swing, and it's intercepted. Deon Buchanan, pick 6. I'm not sure if he expected blitz or what, but I came out man-to-man. That time it worked for me, 25-22. Then my opponent came out with 3 tight ends, ran this counter, and it worked. It was only his 2nd run, but a good one. I thought maybe he would continue running it, but then immediately went back to this 3-wide formation. And we went right back to our blitzing. Off the edge, that's a loose football! Michael Brocker scoops it up, and we close the gap and take the lead here in a hurry. 2 defensive touchdowns back-to-back. My opponent did the same earlier. And this extra point is good, so 29-25. Notice how my engage 8 blitzes didn't work, but then I switched to overloads, and those got home, including this one with Delvin Breaux. Luckily for me, his offense was predictable, and I knew he wanted to stretch the field, so these weren't as risky as they could have been. He also called some screens, but we were ready to defend them, so we make it 3rd and 13, and I decide let's do what the Vikings do here with Harrison Smith. Go double A gap, get Eric Reed here on the edge, and here we go! Reed with the hit, and down goes Roethlisberger, making it 4th and 23 from the 8. Only we're not going to see that play. Ball game. I want to show you guys that blitz again. I'm not a big fan of some of the zone blitzes in the playbooks, so a lot of times I make my own out of engage 8 or other plays. I'm a Vikings fan and I love this double A gap pressure that Mike Zimmer has become famous for, and a lot of times he blitzes the safety out of it. That's how Harrison Smith has 5.5 sacks since 2014 when Zimmer got there. It's a really nice formation to keep your opponent guessing who's going to come and who's going to drop back, and if you have enough blitzes and plays you like out of there, you can switch up your looks and not become too predictable. I like sending the safety here because a lot of times you get him unblocked against players who aren't blocking tight ends or tailbacks. The CPU is going to be better against it because they are more aware against the blitz. And I prefer to use these 6-man pressures online, although 6-man pressures are very risky. I'm just trying to get an unblocked defender, a big hit, and a forced fumble. And if an opponent sees that blitz coming, there's going to be a big void. And you want to use those blitzes in the right situations, and I was using them because my opponent was trying to go deep almost every play. And I also had to get aggressive because I was losing by so much. It just happened to pay off, and he didn't have like any of those play-action shot plays where he had 2 players in a pattern and a bunch of extra blockers. That could have really backfired on me. So that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I had to get a thumbnail and a solo challenge, so I wanted to show you guys that blitz that I used to finish off the game today. And with the Vikings on a bye this week and a lot of new solo challenges that give you some pretty good rewards, I think I'll grind some solos this weekend while I watch games on Sunday and save those packs for a video this coming week. I'd like to get some more players on here and switch out some spots every now and then and build multiple lineups, and I need to get some more packs and coins to do that. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Very sloppy, but I also thought it was pretty entertaining, and it was just a really unique game. I thought it was going to be really bad for me, but then we figured it out. 3 touchdowns there pretty quick. That's going to do it for today, guys. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it. Leave your feedback below and hit that subscribe button. Check out my other content here on this channel and my second channel, MrHurriicane LP. And I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.